Edmonton is an ugly city. Stubborn with life, grown up in cracked concrete and snow melt and dirt and grit. A truth of who we are. Unsung underdogs, lived histories and sacred spaces, all our own. Cigarettes and coffee, dog-eared bookmarks, and a print of memory, worn into the soles of our shoes. Tired eyes, yet smiling upon the work what's done, and rest back the hard-earned nights we've won, in our own right, in our own way, a city of champions. Edmonton is an ugly city, a cracked visage with slices of beauty peeking out and up, and heroes lurking beneath the ides of winter, waiting to blossom. Edmonton is an ugly city, unless you know where to look.
Edmonton is a large lump of coal. There's tons of potential. Lots of people love it. Lots of people hate it. I think Edmonton, especially like where I grew up, you have so many different cultures that you have so many different points of view that you can draw upon. So I don't know if there is anything like you could individually pick up like, oh, that's an Edmonton artist, which in itself is pretty cool. My name is Sir Morrison. I'm an illustrator and designer based out of Edmonton, Alberta. The shop, titled The Shop, very creative, is a ceramic and art studio where we rent spaces to local artists, painters, ceramicists. We also run classes for beginning students and advanced, and we also run Pink Sasquatch out of there. I grew up southside Edmonton in Mill Woods. It's a pretty, well, at the time, a tight-knit community, very diverse in its culture and classes. Today, I think just a lot more people keep to themselves. I had a lot of family right next to me, so my cousins and uncles to my right, and then my aunts beside him, my grandparents beside them. Basically knew everybody in the community. No curfews or bedtimes. We kind of ran wild at night. I love Edmonton, and it is always home base. I got a huge rush of nostalgia every time I drive past a part of town I haven't been in a while. I would love to see what else is out there, but there's probably a piece of Edmonton I'll always hold on to. It's my safe place.
My name is Jezebel Sinclair. I am a local burlesque performer. I've been here for I think over 3.5 years now, going on to 4. Prior to that, I was traveling across Canada. I kind of lived in every province and down in Mexico. Kind of found the world out that way. By the world, I mean like in North America. The first time I attended my first Fringe Festival was the first time that I was like, I want to live here. Because I saw myself and I saw my community and the cool things that live a little bit underground. I just really found people here in that community that welcomed me and wanted me to be there. I think burlesque is a really special place. I think that it's so special in the way that there's an area for everybody to do what they love, and it's an area that promotes so much self-expression. Edmonton's on this really interesting growth path right now where they have an opportunity to continue embracing what makes Edmonton weird, what makes Edmonton special. And I hope that we can see that continue and that we allow those people to flourish. Every person is worthy of something. I really feel that there is some power within this community. I think that there's a lot of people who are doing some really interesting things, whether it be like podcasts about racialized and marginalized bodies or just doing your local like punk rock show at a bar. You could want to be like a clown and you can do burlesque. You could want to be a political speaker and you can do burlesque. You can just want to dance and look really pretty and you can do burlesque. There's a space for everyone. And I think that it's really cool to see all of those places together on one stage. It's very rare that you see like an improv group or a stand-up comedy group or theater group that allows so much diversity on the stage. Being a marginalized and oppressed body, seeing my body en masse is more likely in burlesque than it is in any other theater form. To be able to be like, cool, I can be a fat body and be celebrated and not be looked at as if I'm a monster, because that's what happens often with marginalized people. Burlesque to me is the first time I ever felt seen for being me. It is the place that I feel so incredibly connected to myself. When I got sober, I found a lot of myself on the stage, and I found a lot of my strength on the stage. So for me, burlesque is who I am and what helps make me me, and it is me at my most authentic point. I look at my life right now and the people that I have in it and the community and the connections I've made, and I don't see myself stepping away from that. When I think about the idea of moving away from Edmonton, I'm like, but what about my friends? What about everything I've worked so hard for? If you're ever questioning why Edmonton, just come spend some time.
I remember when I got here in Edmonton, I went to an African shop to grab some food. And as soon as I entered the shop, there was a Nigerian cashier. As soon as I started speaking, he got my accent and he said, "You're from Ghana?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, I'm from Nigeria." I said, "I can tell." And then immediately he goes into 2010 when South Africa hosted the World Cup for the first time. And there was a painful memory of Ghana losing a penalty by this player called Asamoah Gyan. From that, you can see a sense of connection, a sense of belonging as a people, because we don't need to come from one ethnic group. We just have to have one common memory, that is from sports. It's easier for us to connect like that. It's the same when I went to Europe to study and do my master's. It transcends culture. It transcends sectarianism, transcends ethnicity. It helps us identify as a people, even if briefly, but it helps us connect and agree on something for the first time. Yes. My name is Eric Awua. I'm from Ghana. Migrated here to do PhD at the University of Alberta. My occupation before I moved here was a university professor. To call some place home, you need to develop a relationship with the environment, come to an understanding of what that environment makes you feel. Belonging to a team, belonging to a town, belonging to sort of a people is something that human beings gravitate to. It gives them a source of identity. And so it is not a surprise when football helps Black people in the diaspora connect. Home is where your heart is. Yes.